Hello, this is Bryant Myers, author of PEMF, The Fifth Element of Health, and I'm really excited about this video because this video is about how PEMF can help with weight loss, especially burning fat in those stubborn areas, which for men are the love handles and the stomach or abdomen, and for women it's typically the thighs and the hips and also the stomach as well. And there's new research showing how microcirculation and improved circulation might be one of the keys to both why traditional spot reduction techniques and exercise don't work, and how PEMF therapy, in conjunction with proper diet and exercise, can actually help you to improve the circulation, which, as we'll see, might be one of the main keys to burning fat in those stubborn areas. Now, certain fatty areas, which, like I mentioned, was mainly the stomach and low back areas in men and thighs and hips in women, receive a poorer blood flow than visceral fat, which is fat at the center of the body around the organs. If there is little blood flow from those areas, they are not able to dump their fats into the blood to be burned for energy. How can you possibly burn fat if your body's fat cells aren't able to dump their fatty acid contents into the blood where they have the potential to be burned? They cannot. Even if you are in a state where you're burning lots of body fat, i.e. if you're on a weight loss diet or exercise program, very little of that fat you're burning will be coming from those stubborn areas that I mentioned that have the poor blood circulation. This is why most spot reduction exercises and methods to burn stubborn fat just don't work, like doing abdominal crunches, for example, to burn stomach fat. Again, the key is circulation, as we'll see here. So the bottom line is poorer blood flow equals poorer fat loss. Better blood flow equals better fat loss. Real simple. Now here's a fun test you can do to prove this point. Buy a forehead thermometer and take the skin temperature of different parts of your body. In particular, test the temperature of the hard to burn off fatty areas that you have. What do you notice? The answer is you're going to notice they're a lot colder than other areas of your body. In fact, depending on how much fat you have, it can be up to 4 to 5 full degrees or even more colder than certain other areas of your body. Now, this is not a coincidence. Areas that are hard to burn fat are primarily that way due to lack of blood flow to that region. Therefore, they are significantly colder. In other words, fatty acids may indeed be getting released from the cells in our hard to burn off fatty areas, but due to poor circulation to those areas, most of those released fats do not even make it into the bloodstream where they have the potential to be burned. So they end up getting deposited right back into the fat cells they originated from, essentially being locked off in that area. This is why this is called stubborn fat. If we can somehow cause a specific fatty area of our body to have all the blood vessels dilated and filled up with blood, along with releasing their glycerol fatty acids into the bloodstream, then we have the key to targeting fat loss to specific areas in our body. It turns out that PEMF therapy, like the IMRS 2000, affects both the blood circulation to improve that blood flow into those fatty areas, as well as it stimulates the release of fatty acids from the fat cells. Now, if you're not actively doing nutrition and lifestyle interventions to lose fat, you may get some results, but the results are going to be greatly amplified by doing all three, that is, diet, exercise, and PEMF. So think of PEMF more as a tool to amplify fat loss effects from diet and exercise rather than a tool to lose fat by itself, although we have a few testimonials where that is the case. But still, when you do it all together, you're going to get the very best result. Okay, so you can target fat loss in specific areas by increasing circulation. So how is it that PEMF improves circulation? Well, I have gone over this in other videos, but interestingly, PEMF therapy is the only energy medicine device I know that improves microcirculation in 3 ways. In fact, it's the only 3 ways you can improve circulation. Number 1, it helps to dilate the blood vessels by increasing nitric oxide. Number 2, it improves the red blood cell separation, or it dissipates the Rouleau effect by increasing the cellular charge. And remember, like charges repel, so that's going to help the blood to flow better through the capillaries, because the capillaries only allow one red blood cell at a time, and even there it kind of folds in half a little bit. So if all your red blood cells are clumped together, that is going to definitely impede blood flow. And number 3, PEMF and magnetic therapy in general has been proven to lower the viscosity of water. When you put all these 3 things together, what you have is PEMF is improving circulation, and with regards to this video, it's improving the circulation in your fatty tissue. On top of that, PEMF also helps the fat cells to release fatty acids from the cell. And it does that through two ways. Number one, it helps to improve what's called electroporation, which I've talked about in other videos. And take a look at this image here. You can see the pores of the cell actually opening up. And we do have, along with sodium, potassium, and magnesium, calcium channels, we also have protein, carbohydrate, and fat or lipid channels. So by opening up those cellular channels, your cells are going to be able to dump fat into the capillaries, where then the fat can be transported to the muscle cells to be burned as energy, or wherever the body needs energy. You know, your brain cells also require a lot of energy. And PEMF, because it's lowering the surface tension of water, is helping to emulsify the fat. You can see this image here where you have two different waters and oil separating with a higher surface tension water. And you can see it's emulsified or all mixed together with a lower surface tension water. This slide here showing three images, you can see fat before, during, and after. And what PEMF will do is it'll break up that fat into smaller molecules that the cells can then more easily release into the bloodstream. So that's a great 1-2 punch. PEMF is actually helping the fat cells to release fat by making the fat more emulsified and by opening the channels. And it's improving circulation so that the body can then take that fat to where it needs to be burned as energy. Isn't that exciting? So here's a little tip what you can do before you exercise. You can first take the pillow pad and put it over the stomach, the love handles, over your thighs, your hips, wherever it is that there's a buildup of fat. And if you have the IMRS 2000, obesity is in the eye guide. If you don't have the eye guide, I'm just going to give you a little preview and I'm going to share because I'm very generous. So you can see here's an image of the eye guide settings for obesity. Again, you could do the full body mat first, then the pillow pad. We always like to do the full body mat twice a day. Just follow these protocols. You can see it's 16 minutes, level 200. And just put that pillow pad over the area before you work out. And again, give it some time, but I promise you this is going to help. Whether you feel it or not, it is doing all those aforementioned things that I said about helping the body to release fat in the bloodstream so then the body can, or the muscle cells or the body can then use that fat for energy. Besides improved circulation, there's also 7 more ways that PEMF helps with weight loss. Number 1, it increases metabolism and improves thyroid function. Number 2, it helps with detox and bowel regularity because a lot of weight is stored in your colon. The average person's got 10 to 20 pounds of mucoid plaque that's not going anywhere. Number 3, it helps to burn cellulite by detoxing the body of toxic chemicals. And when you detox chemicals, sometimes cellulite is there to push toxic chemicals away from the vital organs. So this is another way that PEMF helps. In this case, it's lymphatic circulation to detoxify the body, and then the body won't need the cellulite anymore when the toxins are gone. Number 4, it improves sleep, and there's good research to show that weight-burning hormones like HGH are produced when we get deep sleep. Also, when you sleep well at night, you're less likely to do that midnight snacking. Number 5, PEMF gives you more energy, so you're more likely to exercise. That's kind of a psychological reason. Number 6, PEMF reduces stress, and there's a lot of research to show how PEMF helps the body to get more into parasympathetic, which is the rest, digest, and heal mode. And this lowers cortisol, and it's been proven that cortisol is linked to belly fat. And number 7, PEMF, as I've shown in other videos, helps the body to heal and regenerate itself if you have any kind of injury that prevents you from exercising. So using PEMF for weight loss isn't wishful thinking. It's actually backed by science, mainly due to microcirculation, but also the 7 other things I mentioned. I want to conclude this video with some proof. And here's the testimony from Patty King, who's a chiropractor and acupuncturist who had 3 patients that lost a significant amount of weight using the IMRS 2000.
Hi, I'm Patty King. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I bought a professional IMRS in June. And I'm a chiropractor acupuncturist, and so I've used the obesity on 3 of my patients, and 2 of them lost in 2 weeks almost 15 pounds. And I have another patient. I used the pad for obesity to treat the whole body, or the mat, and then afterwards I used the pad wherever the patient wants to lose weight, and so I put it on the abdomen. and my one patient lost almost 3 inches in 1 week. So I've had great results with the professional IMRS, and I recommend it highly. Thank you.